Hi, everybody. Ms.Melissa Goes Live starts now. I'll wait for a second for people to log on. Can't wait to see everyone. Sign in so I know you're here in the chat box. Wait a minute and we'll get started. As usual, I like to give everyone a minute to log on with us. I can't wait to share with you. Okay, Ms.Olivia, can you test the chat box for me? Hi, can you test the chat box for me? Just say something in there so I can see who's on. We're going to go ahead and get started because we have a lot to talk about. So this week is called Ms. Melissa Goes Live Appreciation Week. The first group of people that we have been showing our appreciation for are our teachers. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. Teacher Appreciation Week started on Monday and ends this Friday. It was founded in the 1950s with a Teacher Appreciation Day for 1 year in the 50s, and then in the 80s they had a Teacher Appreciation Day. But then later in the 80s, the National Education Association really wanted to extend from just a Teacher Appreciation Day to Teacher Appreciation Week. So that's what they did. They switched it to a week. And even though the week is over, today's Friday, it's still not too late to show appreciation for your teachers. You can create a picture, a thank you note, just like the thank you notes that you should be working on for our essential staff. You could create your own thank you picture. Doesn't even have to be a poster. It could be on a piece of paper, but a thank you note to your teacher. And what you could do with that drawing that you make and the thank you note that you make for your teacher, you could go to their office hours, because that's our live time, or we call synchronous time. And you can show them the picture. You could just hold it up just like I'm showing this right now. And you could show your teachers your picture that you created and the thank you. Even though it's next week, not this week, there's always time to thank your teachers for what they do. You could also respond to their Remind apps and tell them thank you. You could also send an email with your parents to thank your teachers. So although Teacher Appreciation Week is ending this week, you still can next week show appreciation for your teachers. So I wanted to take time real quick. Oh, before I forget, Teacher Appreciation Week is always the first week in May. So the first Monday in May until the first Friday in May is Teacher Appreciation Week. In 2020 and 2021 and 2022, just so in the back of your mind you'll remember that first week of May is always Teacher Appreciation Week. But I'm sure you show your appreciation for your teachers all year long. What I wanted to do is tell you a little bit about the teachers I want to thank, because when you're older, the lessons that you're learning from your teachers now, you're going to remember. And there'll be things you still use as an adult that you learned when you were a kid. So one of the teachers I wanted to thank was my kindergarten teacher. Her name is Miss Goreski. Miss Goreski is a really wonderful kindergarten teacher. That's me in kindergarten. She taught me about friendship and kindness and sharing. So thank you, Miss Goreski, wherever you are, because I learned so much in kindergarten. I wanted to thank my fourth grade teacher, Miss McCormick, because she taught me about being curious about the world and being brave. We would go on trips where we'd have to do some things that made me nervous. They weren't dangerous. Sometimes we would go across bars, but she made me brave and knew that I could do it. Even with math and other homework, she told me I could do it. She said I was brave for trying, for going up and speaking in front of a group. So I really do appreciate Mrs. McCormick, who was my fourth grade teacher. And last but not least, I want to thank my middle school and high school teachers for my love of science. They encouraged me to do science projects, to ask those questions and find answers, to learn about animals and nature and chemistry and physics. And I do appreciate the lessons I learned from my science teachers in middle school and high school. So just remember, take the time out, thank your teachers, because even as an adult, and I'm sure Miss Karen and Mr. Charles and Ms.Olivia will say the same thing. There are teachers out there that they want to thank right now. Again, Ms. Goreski, Mr. McCormick, and all the middle school and high school teachers I have, thank you so much for the lessons I learned from you. So don't forget, thank your teachers. The other week that we're celebrating, I had one more thing to say about Teacher Appreciation Week. Teachers will appreciate this. When you are online with them for synchronous learning, to mute your mic when asked to. It makes it so much easier for everyone to hear the answers that people are giving if you mute your mic. So that's a way to show your appreciation for your teachers. Mute the mic if they ask you to mute the mic when you're online learning with your class. Okay, so here's the next appreciation week that we have. It is National Nurses Appreciation Week. Right now, more than ever, we see how important nurses are around the world. Think of the nurses that are in your life. We have clinical nurses who are in the doctor's offices and they take your temperature and check your blood pressure and ask you how you're feeling and sometimes give you shots, which I know you don't like. Everyone doesn't like shots, but they keep you healthy. So there's those nurses. There are nurses in the hospitals right now who are taking care of the patients that are ill with the virus that is going around the world, and they are working so hard. And I've seen on the news, and I've known personally that they are doing it with so much love in their heart, and they are working so hard, and they are happy to take care of people. That is what they want to do, and that they are doing such a great job. And we really want to say thank you to all those nurses out there. And think about the nurses that are with the school system. Every once in a while, we have a health clinic aide who takes temperatures and checks on you and when you're not feeling well. But there's also a school nurse who will come into the schools and will help and with you. And you've probably seen some of the school nurses too. So thank you to the school nurses. Thank you to all the clinical nurses in all of the offices. The nurses, there are visiting nurses that will go to different locations and need help. There are nurses, there are home health care nurses that will go into a home to help people who can't get to different facilities. So thank you so much to all of the nurses out there for Nurse Appreciation Week. Some interesting facts about Nurse Appreciation Week is that it was the last day of the week is always, or of Nurse Appreciation Week, is May 12th. And the significance of May 12th is that it is Florence Nightingale's birthday. Florence Nightingale is considered the founder of modern nursing. She was born, I get my map out. She was born in, let me get this over here, if I can pull it out. Oh, here it is. She was born in Italy. In fact, she's named after Florence, Italy. So she was born in Italy, you can see that, which is part of Europe. And she always wanted to be a nurse. At the time that she wanted to be a nurse, first of all, women were really not getting an education, and nursing wasn't something that people wanted to do. It wasn't highly regarded, it wasn't very respected, but she felt that that was something that she was supposed to do. And maybe some of you out there know in your minds that there is something that you truly want to do in your life, and you're going to take the steps, and we will support you to do that. Your career in the future, whatever your career is in the future, if you know that you want to do it, you can do it. And this is what happened with Florence Nightingale. She really wanted to be a nurse, and she spoke with her parents who weren't so sure about it, and she convinced them that that's what she wanted to do. And what she did was she was sent to Crimea, which is now Ukraine. You can see over here in the map too, during the war. And she was in a place where injured and sick soldiers were, and she realized that they were getting sicker and sicker, and they weren't surviving. But the area that they were being kept was very dirty, and the water wasn't clean, and the food wasn't clean. And she took notes, and she kept records, and realized that they really needed to clean up the area if they wanted people to survive in this place. So she made it so that they were getting clean water, and the facilities were clean, and they were getting clean food. She also did something where that soldiers would call her the lady with the lamp, because at night she would go in and check in on the soldiers and make sure they were okay. She would help them write letters to their family. So she had to use lamps because they didn't have lights like we have right now. So she would use a lamp. Now the lamp that I have is called a hurricane lamp. This was not the lamp she used, but it was one that had an oil in it. This has kerosene in it, but the one she had oil, and it would have a metal base, and it would have a handle for her. She also had some that are made from paper that they have shown in different museums. I'll try to make sure that I can link to National Geographic because I talk about Florence Nightingale. So, and May 12th is the end of Nurse Appreciation Week, and it's because of Florence Nightingale. So we just want to say another shout out to all the nurses out there. We really appreciate all that you're doing. Oh, last but not least, this Sunday, Sunday is Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a time that we want to thank all of the people in our lives, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, older sisters, people who play a motherly role in your life. This is a time for us to thank them and think about them and show them our appreciation for all they do for us. So this Mother's Day, I was thinking about things that you can do at home for your moms, because sometimes at school you can create things there and bring them home. But since we weren't in school or after school, you can still do things at home. You can make a card if you have extra paper and pencils. Moms, as a mom, we always appreciate homemade cards because we know they come straight from the heart. You could always just say, "I love you, Mom," and give her a great big hug, or your aunt or the people in your life, your guardians that play a role in your life as a mother figure. Give them a big hug. Tell them you love them. Tell them you appreciate what they do for you. You could also help prepare a meal or a snack. Or another thing that's always great for moms is that you could help them with a task or job that they have to do. Now, of course, you should be helping every day, but if you want to do an extra day of helping your mom or the person in your life that is in the role of a mom, this is the day to do it, and just show how much you love and care for them, like they show that they love and care for you every day. So, a couple of facts about Mother's Day. Mother's Day was founded by Anna Jarvis in appreciation of her mother. The official holiday began in 1914. Anna Jarvis, I just want to show another map real quick. You know where we live. We've been practicing. She lived in West Virginia, so not too far away from where we live in Virginia. So she started Mother's Day just as a way to appreciate her mother and all the mothers in the world. One thing that a lot of people do for Mother's Day is they give their moms flowers. A fact that I learned was the official flower for Mother's Day in the beginning were white carnations, and that's because Anna Jarvis's mother's favorite flower was the white carnation. So I think next time I give mothers that I know flowers, I might stick some white carnations in there just as just to represent the first Mother's Day. So just remember, you can draw a picture for your mom. You can write letters if your mom is not, or grandmother or aunt not with you. You can write a letter. Maybe you can call them on the phone. Just hearing your voice always makes a big difference in a mother's lives. So those are our three big days this week and Sunday. Teacher Appreciation Week. Make sure to thank your teacher if you haven't already. National Nurses Week. I forgot to tell you, this year, Florence Nightingale would have been 200 years old because her birthday was May 12th, 1820. Make sure I got that right. Yes, May 12th, and she would have been 200 years old if she was born. I mean, if she was still alive today, that's pretty old. So let's not forget to thank all the nurses out there. And last but not least, don't forget to thank your mothers. So I really love that I get to tell you all these wonderful facts and all of the wonderful things that are going on in the world. I hope you're all doing great. From Mr. Charles, Ms.Olivia, Miss Karen, and myself, we love you. We can't wait to see you again, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget your reading groups. Make sure that if you're in a reading group, make sure you're coming to your reading groups. If you have homework help, make sure that you're coming to the homework help time. And don't forget to do your thank yous for all of the essential workers out there, and take a picture so that we can see it, because we'd love to see them. Have a great Friday. I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, guys.